So you've been told.
So, Joey, after our 5 months in South Africa,
We went our separate ways.
we went our separate ways. No, we became such great friends.
I know.
I was so lucky getting onto that set because the first Kissing Booth was such a success, and you had such a wonderful cast of South African actors that you had spent, what? How long were you there the first time? 2-3 months?
2-3 months, yeah.
And then we got 5 months with them, and we all just bonded because everyone was so grateful to be working.
Yeah.
And that was a wonderful set to step onto because this was my first major project that I was doing with an incredible #1 on the call sheet that, I mean, I'm gonna say it, like I think you lead a set in a way that makes everybody feel comfortable and you raise the energy levels and people want to come to work. And for me, like you were like my intensive on how to lead a set, on how to be on set. And I mean, still today, like I'm like getting warm talking about this right now. I don't know why I'm like embarrassed. But like seriously, you like become a sister to me, but like also you're a role model and a mentor to me on like how I want to be. And I take it with me on every set I go to, and you. And it sounds like corny, but you totally inspired me to be, to be like you on a set.
That is so sweet of you to say. You're actually being nice to me for once. Is it because there's cameras around?
Did I say all that right? But you told me to write.
Yeah, I told you to write that down last night. You said it pretty much word for word. Just a little tweak here.
I added some spice
Let's
to it.
take that back again.
Yeah,
but I really appreciate it because, I know that like I have been the lead of a couple things before, and like the role of being the lead, not just in the particular thing, but also on a set. It can be really important. I've worked with people who are the leads who maybe aren't as
Joey
kind, maybe, or kind, or just lead with, they don't lead with grace. And, I think I've learned from both positive and negative experiences of different kinds of people leading the projects I've been on like what kind of person I hope to be if I'm in the position of being a lead. But I have to say, it's not like this, like, performance of any kind to try to be this like kind, like person on set. It's just when I'm working on something I'm really excited about and I have really lovely people like yourself around me, it's just easy to be, it's always easier to be nice than to be an a-hole for PBS.
Yeah. What is it? You attract more bees with honey?
Is it a saying?
I guess.
Should we just speak in idioms the whole interview? I'd like that.
I'm not prepared.
But that is like so sweet of you to say. It makes me, like I'm trying to be a big girl and take the compliment.
Take the compliment.
Very difficult to sit here and say, thank you. I'm crawling inside of my skin.
I know, I was crawling saying it because it's just like saying it out loud to someone that you care so much about and respect. You're like, okay, like I'm sweating.
Also, you and I don't talk about serious things ever.
No, we don't. So. We're like always just joking.
I was just joking.
I was just joking all the time.
But
you.
No, please. Us.
Us together at the 1, 2. So you. It's like Cat and Garth from SNL. God, it's the best. Okay, but you started acting when you were 4.
Yeah, I did.
You meanly corrected me the other day when I said, when you were 5, right?
And I was like, 4. Do your research. When did you start acting, Taylor?
Acting a fool? I was pretty young.
How long have you been acting? Like,
I've lived in Los Angeles for 14 years.
Yeah.
I feel like I started acting when I was in 8th grade. But it was one of those things where it was like either you're doing sports because you're gonna get a scholarship to go to college, or you're gonna do acting.
Something creative.
Creative. Yeah. And my dad was like, cool, you could do theater, that's great, but how you're getting to college is you're getting a swimming scholarship. You're like, and I did, which was, great. And then I forwent that because I was like, I don't want to swim ever again. And after moving here, just like a leap of faith.
What made you know you wanted to be an actor, and then what made you fall in love with it when you started acting?
I want to say Saturday Night Live lit my fuse because my sibling, I grew up with 7 siblings, and we would watch it, like as kids, like we would watch Chris Farley, Dana Carvey, Maya Rudolph, Tina Fey, just like the greats. And we would reenact it the next day. Like on Sunday morning after breakfast, we were doing SNL skits. And so that was like, I think my foray into the creative brain with my siblings. Yeah. And I mean, because when you're a kid, like you play like house, or you play, I don't know, cops and robbers or whatever. And for us, it was like SNL stuff.
That's so cute.
And so that really, I think that was like the first thing that was like, oh, this is really fun.
That makes sense to me because someone who's like seen you act and has also worked with you, I think that you have a knack and like an innate joy for like comedy, and you have got such good comedic timing. And I was actually going to ask you, because of what you just mentioned with your siblings, you come from a very large family. And of course I know, but for the viewer, what birth order, where do you fall in your siblings in terms of birth order?
Number 6 of 8.
So you were close to being the youngest.
It's weird though, because my family is in pods. So the oldest 3, a middle 2, and then a youngest 3. And so I always was raised to be an oldest for my younger 2 siblings, but then I was still a youngest for my older siblings. And my sister Christy, who passed away last year, was 44. So she was 12 years older than me. And so she was like gone.
Yeah.
Like, as you get older, like they just like leave, they go to college and do their own thing. And so you are, like I was the oldest.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry about your sister passing last year. She was so amazing and such a bright light, seemingly. I didn't get to really know her, but
She loved you.
she was so funny.
She was so funny and just was always like, how's Joey? She just seems like the best. And it's weird because every time I would talk about you and then I would go visit her, like you guys had very similar qualities.
Yeah.
And just like loving, caring, always accepting. And I mean, she was the glue that kept our family together and made sure we all were going on trips together and the kids were involved. And I think it was really hard. No, it was really hard doing Red, White, and now I'm gonna start crying. Doing Red, White and knowing that it came out 2 months later and she didn't get to see it. Like our cover of GQ came out in June and then the film came out in August, and it was really hard. And my director, Matthew Lopez, he was like, hey, do you mind if I put like For Christy at the end of the film? And that just like blew my mind that somebody was so thoughtful to think of my family in our time of need and mourning. And like we're coming up on a year right now, and it's just, it's tough. It's like tough in the creative role because I think people throw themselves into projects to forget or to soothe themselves or something, to distract. And I was like, I can't do that. Like I need to be with my family. Like I've been with my family this past
I think that's the
year.
right way. I think the hard thing about our industry too, and just like our country in general, is like work, 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 work. Like the more you work, the better. And so I think that sometimes people forget that, you know, tending to your real life as well as the life that we have as people who are in the industry is just as important, if not, I mean, it's the most important.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. And
You've taught me that.
well,
Like you're so grounded with your family. Your mom, I could text your mom, call your mom, FaceTime your mom. She'd answer. She'd be there for me. If I call you and like I have a question, she doesn't answer, I'm calling your mom. Like you have such a strong family life. And growing up in Los Angeles and starting when you're 4,